welcome to White Mountain's Sunday broadcast. Today I'm going to be talking about the teaching of the heart. Our great ones, the sages of Agni Yoga wisdom, instruct that the teaching of the heart will prepare humanity to advance toward future possibilities. They say that without the teaching of the heart, the humanity is going to exterminate itself. So it's important that the leaders of the world prepare the teaching of the heart and spread it worldwide as the foundation of right human relations. If after listening to today's Sunday talk, you find you would like more information about the wisdom teachings and about the nature of the heart, I suggest searching for some of Nicholas Roerch's writings that are rich in spiritual wisdom on the significance of the heart. For example, The Heart of Asia, The Realm of Light. These are books that he has written and you can find online. The Heart of Asia, The Realm of Light, The Flame in the Chalice, and The Heart of Nature. These writings by Nicholas Roerch delve into the spiritual and mystical aspects of the heart with a source of inner guidance. For example, Nicholas Roerch writes, "The heart is the real foundation of the mind." He writes, "In the heart shines the light." He says the heart is the treasury of true wisdom. He says in the heart one finds the source of all strength. And he says the heart knows the way and to follow it faithfully. Isn't that beautiful? It really, really is. So it is the teaching of the heart that is going to regenerate the world and focus of love and compassion and eliminate all kinds of exploitation and manipulation and also fear. So as practitioners of Agni Yoga, we must strive to see with the eyes of the heart. So this is like a subtitle of today's talk, See with the Eyes of the Heart. But because the talk goes out on YouTube and other various places on the internet with the title I have, they're not going to understand this. So this is the subtitle of today's talk, to see with the eyes of the heart. So what does this mean? It means that eventually many of us on this path will be able to see the beauty, the vision, the purity, and the wisdom of the higher self. To cultivate this ability, we must expand our consciousness and develop intuitional awareness. So there's two things that we must strive for: to expand our consciousness and to develop intuitional awareness. Now, intuition is not ESP, nor is it instinctive knowing. So this is the definition I'm sharing with you today from the teaching, that it is not ESP and intuition is not instinctive knowing. Intuition is a harmonic frequency of enlightenment. A harmonic frequency of enlightenment. Intuition is a substance of a plane of existence. And this plane of existence is called the Buddhic plane. when through right living and meditation and study and service, we expand our awareness and fuse with the substance of this Buddhic center, we can enter and express ourselves from this plane of consciousness. So this is a vision for each of us. It is of great inspiration to an Agni yogi's heart and soul to realize that they have the potential, we have the potential to expand ourselves in such a way that we can literally learn how to live in the light of the plane of intuition, the center of the heart. So the plane of intuition is the center of the heart. When we are able to see with the eyes of the heart, then a great light is produced that penetrates into the forms and qualities and purposes and causes of life. We are able to see things as they are without the limitations of time and space and matter. This is our future. I can understand now why the great ones say that we must spread this teaching of living in the heart. In the teachings of Agni Yoga, we read that the beauty of life is limitless on space, in space, and on earth. It is the heart that will challenge us to strive for improvement, challenge us to expand, inspire us to become creative people of greater love and beauty. So here's a question. What is the source of love? What is the source of beauty? What is the source of one's inspiration for improvement, for expansion, and for enlightenment? See, society doesn't teach these things. Colleges don't teach these things. Perhaps we could say one aspect of education is the field of art. And I truly believe, just from my own experience, that through the field of art in education is where all of us, from childhood to adult, can develop our heart nature through art, through creative expression, through music, through poetry. So let's say that you're an older person and you would like to educate yourself, you want to go back to college. Don't go back to get a physics degree. Look and see if they have an art department, a fine arts department. And there's where you want to participate. Go in, register, sign up, and if nothing more, learn poetry. How to write poetry. Because poetry, music, art, these are aspects that will help you develop your heart, develop intuition, and become a creative human being. It will help you think differently in the world today. The cosmic heart. It is stated that in the teaching that the cosmic heart is the central organ of the galaxy. This central organ controls the life currents of all life forms existing within the galaxy. Just as our heart pumps energy and blood into every cell of our body, the cosmic heart sustains the energy system in its body. See, as above, so below. There's that connection. So there's a living organism, and it must have a heart that is the equivalent of a heart. The system must receive its energy from someplace, from somewhere. So we call this center the heart. All hearts, the teaching tells us that all hearts are linked together through the galaxy. There's another term for the cosmic heart. It is sometimes called the cosmic magnet. Cosmic heart, cosmic magnet. So for each aspirant, each person who is striving to improve their life through a path of love and beauty, they will become sympathetic to the stream of the fiery energy of love streaming from the cosmic magnet. All creative geniuses are in contact with the flow of the cosmic magnet. So this is not science fiction. And when you wonder about, the great ones that have passed before us, the great poets, the great musicians, the great spiritual people, what makes them great? What makes them stand out? It is their contact with the stream of the fiery energy of the love streaming from the cosmic magnet. That's their source, the cosmic heart. I recall listening to an interview with Dmitri Shostakovich, who was asked about the source of his compositions. He said he could be anywhere, even on an airplane, and lift his consciousness into the fire of space, and he could hear either a melody or a whole symphony. He said to him, this is the source of genius. Dmitri was born September 25th, 1906, and was called home in August of 1975. That was interesting because 1975 was such a pivotal year for us in contacting hierarchy in Shambhala. He was a Soviet-era Russian composer and pianist. Can you remember being inspired by a beautiful piece of music, or by an object of art that made you feel joy or a sense of wholeness? Can you recall being with a person who radiated an energy that ignited a deep fiery love from within your soul? That piece of music, that object of art, or the person was infused with the streaming energy of the cosmic heart. The energy of the cosmic heart unites us with the consciousness of the highest light and love in the universe, even with the Almighty Presence in the universe. The igniting and bonding of our heart with the heart and consciousness of the highest hierarchy of our planet leads us into the majestic center of the cosmic magnet. I remember when I attended the University of Iowa and was rehearsing with the symphony orchestra, and at this time its guest conductor, Samuel Barber, how after spending 4 hours rehearsing various pieces of his compositions, I went back to where I was living totally revitalized and inspired. I wanted to conquer the world, and I wanted to become the greatest violinist who had ever lived and fill my life with beauty, only beauty. I was electrically charged. And later, when Samuel Barber invited me to have lunch with him, I could barely breathe. You can imagine my excitement. I've never forgotten that time together. The source of the vitality of genius, the desire to be better, an unconscious desire to be totally absorbed in beauty, is unending and continues to be so. The source of such great beauty in sound and color seemed to be a geometrical composite of energies. I was thinking back, playing in a symphony orchestra extraordinary talent. And even I was thinking, as I was putting today's talk together, I was thinking about the combination of Samuel Barber and James Dixon, who was the in resident conductor. Talk about genius, talk about power, talk about creativity. They were extraordinary human beings. I mean, truly extraordinary. Some people might have called them a bit odd. Just as when you read the biography of any geniuses, to common people, they seem odd. But when you're in the presence of such genius, it uplifts you into their oddness, and you realize what life can really be and come through you. But you have to touch something. You have to be inspired with something or something. And that inspiration, we can be inspired like I was with Samuel Barber and others, and James Dixon, and these remarkable human beings. They inspire us because they're in contact. So through their inspiration and contact, they put us in contact as well. As we unite our hearts with the heart of music, at that time, their music, my heart became inflamed with the source of the music, the cosmic heart. From the cosmic heart streams the fiery, creative energy of love. Whenever we are able to contact that stream of energy, our consciousness begins to increase and change. Our lives slowly begin to change. We view our life, our loves, our family, and children. That view changes. We begin to see all life with the eyes of the heart, and you can actually feel the shift of consciousness that takes place. So it doesn't happen 24 hours a day or 12 hours a day. It happens in increments and moments until it's like, through this exercise, through the practice, eventually these moments become hours, and the hours become days, and the days become months, and finally these months become your entire life. But the shift comes very gradually. And when you feel it, when you experience it, it puts you in a different sphere or a different realm of understanding people and life in general. I recall a friend, a co-worker, who was emotionally cold. He was a very efficient person. He was intelligent and responsible, but there was a missing ingredient, and it was called tenderness. A sensitivity that comes from the heart. Tenderness must come from the heart. It was very difficult to interact with him, where on one hand, he could be counted on for factual information. Still, at times, the information he would provide me with seemed almost brittle, a reflection of his own consciousness. He would evade using words like emotion or feeling words that express love and beauty and joy or creative freedom. For some time, I was really bothered by this co-worker's nature until I had that shift of understanding, and I realized he was missing heart. You'll recognize it. And when you recognize people whose heart nature is missing, then you'll adapt, you'll adjust, and you will radiate something to them that if you stay with them for any amount of time, will begin to change the nature of their own heart, and it will open. It will open. The petals of their heart will begin to open. A great teacher once said to train and test a person's heart quality before choosing him as a friend, a co-worker, a husband or wife, or even as an employee, or before giving that person even the smallest responsibilities. He said, if they do small tasks with their whole heart and without complaining, they can be entrusted with great responsibilities. He said to listen to what that person says. For example, if that person says something very ugly or nasty, there's a leakage somewhere in their aura, and energy is escaping. Even though they may apologize later and say, I really love you, nonetheless, there is still a leakage there, and they are not in control. You don't know when they are going to betray your love again. Being sorry does not mean that you are healed. This may sound a bit unusual, but we are told we need to train the heart. It is in the training of the heart where we can begin to change our lives, to become more and more inspired with the beauty of love, the beauty of joy, the beauty of striving, and the beauty of perfection. The teaching gives us 10 steps we can take to train our heart. And in so doing, then we can become the stream of energy from the cosmic heart. In training ourselves with these 10 steps, we can find an improvement in our relationships, improvement in our careers, in our service, and even an improvement in our self-image. So why not try? We have nothing to lose. So what are these 10 steps? Feeling for others, compassion, humility, patience, tolerance, wisdom, sacrifice, gratitude, inclusiveness, and courage. These are all qualities of the heart that must be trained. So, feelings for others. Observe the children. So many little ones show us what they have, what it is to have feelings for others. They hug, they touch, they laugh and cry with us. They even say, I love you. You cannot be spiritually advanced and not have love feelings for others. When you begin to lose your feelings for others, you begin to withdraw your heart from the river of love, robbing you of many beauties in life. For example, if someone of your life does not have feelings for others, you know that they are separating themselves from God, from the almighty presence in the universe. When you don't have feelings for others, you are distancing yourself from the creative stream of life. You may say, that person is so intelligent. Like my friend who had the missing ingredient. He was very bright. But he had a computer brain of facts and information. He was efficient, but he missed the most important element of life: feelings for others and heart qualities. Without the qualities of the heart, you are a cold fish. Compassion means deep love. Not deep love for yourself, but deep love for a loved one. It is so popular today to say, it drives me crazy. Not that. It just drives me crazy. What is popular to say, which is, I must first love myself. If you really think about it, deeply understand the flow of love. You cannot have compassion for another without loving yourself. When you love another, when you elevate that love to compassion, you are increasing the quality of your heart. You are making contact with the cosmic heart, the heart that nurtures all of life. So it's like I recommended that at the end of today's talk, if you're really interested in developing the heart, I talked about fine art education, in college. I talked about Nicholas Rourke and his writings. I didn't talk about his paintings. But there are others, there are a select few others, spiritual beings that bring this radiance, this deep love we call compassion into the world today through their service, through their art, through their heart. So this is why we want to read their words. This is why I gave you the names of some of Nicholas Rourke's books that you can find on rourke.org, R-O-E-R-I-C-H, rourke.org. You can, the Nicholas Rourke Museum provides his books online for free. You can see many of his paintings. You can buy, if you're a millionaire, you can buy some of his original art. If you're like myself, you can buy a print, and you can put that print in a beautiful frame and bring it in your house, or like what we have here in the sanctuary, and you're being bathed with the compassion of the heart of this great artist. It's very interesting. I was reading in today's Thought for the Day, which is from a book that White Mountain just published called Seed Thoughts for Daily Planting. And in there, I wasn't familiar with this phrase. It was a phrase called man God. And at first I was kind of offended, man God. I don't understand it. It sounds odd. That's because I'd never heard it before. And as I was reading through this seed thought, which is a verse from Agni Yoga, I learned that people can be called man-God, like Nicholas Rourke, like Samuel Barber, like Helena Rourke, like our dear teacher Torkin, who have this compassion, who have aspired to such a degree that their consciousness now is part of the consciousness of the cosmic heart. And they are called man-God. They are striving beyond what we have achieved and serve as inspiration for our achievements. So if you have that book, pull it out, read the Seed Thought for today, June 9th, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Compassion is intuitive understanding. It is a very high frequency of love. It is a fountainhead of love. Humility. Why humility? Why is humility a quality of the heart? It is only through humility that we grow and glow. Grow and glow. When you are in this aura of a humble person, you are in the presence of the one who sees through the eyes of their heart, and through their vision become the servant of all. A humble person is the servant of man and of God. Man, God. The one who demands to be served is the one who is filled with vanities, the one who has not yet developed the qualities of the heart, the quality of humility. The one of humility says, I forgive you. The one of humility says, I forgive myself. The one of humility says, I have only just begun. The one deficient in humility is the one who says, I am more important than you. Those who do not have humility become negative, destructive, selfish, and try to force their will on others. So we must ask ourselves, do I really know? Or if you are told something, you must ask yourself, does that person really know? Is the one who is giving me this knowledge, does he or she really know? Why should we ask these questions? Because people do not know all that they think they know. There is a beautiful article written by Daniel Enton that is going into the July, August, September issue of Agni Yoga Quarterly, which is online right now, by the way. I wrote this a couple of weeks ago, so in anticipation. So Daniel Enton, so the keynote article is an article where he talks about truth. And again, this Agni Yoga Quarterly can be found on White Mountain's website. Just go to if I can remember, WMEA.org. Put that in your search engine and it'll take you right to the website. So it's a very interesting article. I can hardly wait for you to read it. He wrote, Lao Tzu tells us that any truth that can be stated cannot be the whole truth. That just by stating something, we are limiting and distorting it. What can that mean? Patanjali tells us that there are ways to learn the truth. For example, to learn from those who know more than we do, from our gurus, unquote. Humility makes us think twice before we speak. A person of humility does not play games. They appear as they are and do not wear false masks or false images. A humble person is real. They have magnetism and joy and love. A person in humility is absent is one who is being eaten by the illness of vanity, and rather than building this quality in their heart, they are damaging their heart. Patience is a beautiful quality of the heart. With patience, you're going to improve yourself. So why not practice patience if you want to be a better person? If you want to improve yourself, just practice patience. With patience, you will learn all about rhythm and right timing. Patience is one of the highest virtues of the heart. It is patience that withdraws us from the identification of our day-to-day problems. Be patient. Infusing your consciousness with the virtue of patience, you're cultivating a cosmic point of view. So it was like yesterday, my cooling system died. Yesterday's was Saturday. Nobody in this town that works for themselves works on Saturday, let me tell you. Oh no, this means I'm not going to have air conditioning in this 90-degree weather till the middle of the week. Just the opposite happened. The fellow had already planned to come. He was working in the upper deck, and he said, okay, let me look. Let me see what's going on. The motor burned out. He went to Home Depot. They had one left. He brought it back. He put it in, and they only charged $100 to install it. And that's patience. Patience is also trust. And I really trust this guy. And then he went on and finished his business and took off, and I was able to go out to dinner. It was so cool. I could have, years ago, I would have been so stressed out, I wouldn't have known what to do. But patience, so what I learned yesterday is patience is a magnet. It draws almost magically what you need to you. See, so I'm back into air conditioning again. Infusing your consciousness with the virtue of patience, you are cultivating a cosmic viewpoint. You are no longer being drowned in the waves of life's transiting problems, but are able to swim out into the ocean of space or over to Home Depot and beyond the planet and the sun and into the heart of the galaxy. Tolerance means not to bother yourself with stupid things that others do. It is a tolerance that you give others the freedom to grow and glow. Wisdom is a quality of the heart. Some people think wisdom is knowledge, but it is not. It is more than that. Wisdom is knowledge plus love and revelation. Wisdom is knowledge plus love and revelation combined. In the books of the teachings, we were told that wisdom is knowledge plus love. Wisdom is used to help people strive toward their ultimate destiny, to create unity and synthesis, to reveal latent potentials in man, and to use them to achieve health and happiness and prosperity and success, and for enlightenment on a global level. Wisdom is gained through learning and knowledge and experience. Sacrifice. Every day we do something for someone else. Every single day, twice or 3 times a day, performs a sacrificial deed. To perform a sacrificial deed means to do something for someone else without thought of self. That's not so easy to do. I was thinking of a mother-in-law that I had many years ago, and she was always doing for everybody, and I thought this is the keenest thing. I mean, she would bake for others, she would take her friends to the doctor appointments and other places, and then one day she was so angry with someone in her mobile home park, and I happened to be there, and she said, "I do not understand. I do all these things for everybody, and they do nothing for me." She didn't learn. She didn't learn, but I learned. I learned about what not to be. Gratitude. Each day, enter into your spiritual diary something that you are grateful for. Or just mentally. Every day do something beautiful for a friend, a co-worker, or a stranger. This is gratitude. To give beauty is to give gratitude to God. The 9th one is inclusiveness. To be inclusive means to know the heart of your partner, your friend, your co-worker, your earthly teacher, your children, your neighbor. To know the heart of another means to know God. To know and to sense the beingness of the Almighty Presence in the universe. And number 10, courage. It takes courage to look at yourself and say, there are some things in my nature, in my life, in my personality that needs to be improved. It takes courage. And then to make the needed changes. Courage is one of the main qualities of the heart to cultivate. Think of those you know who have courage, or you've read about, like Joan of Arc, like St. Francis, like Abraham Lincoln. Perhaps your mother or father, or your brother or your sister, or your spiritual teacher. In knowing others of courage, you will learn why courage is one of the fundamental qualities of the heart. if you do not have courage, you're never going to improve. And so this is why the teaching is called the path of self-perfectment. Anyway, so I shared a lot with you today. In a couple of weeks I have more to share with you about the heart and virtues and self-perfectment. But put it to work, put it in action. If for nothing else, take like gratitude and patience and see what it does. See how it changes the nature of your heart.